Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. As usual, life can be a little bit miserable, life can be a little bit dark, so we are here to bring you as much light and as much joy as we possibly can, because I'm Bradley, and he's now been working for 2 weeks, so he's on the floor. He's got nothing left, the dirty layabout. It's Stu. How you doing, Stu?
Ready to end it all. Work is the absolute devil. It's the pits of hell, I tell you.
Well, you know, when we go into the nuclear winter that's coming, then, you know, we can all not worry about work.
Yeah, my work will be, blindly stumbling around to find some canned goods to, keep me and my family alive for 5 more minutes. So, that'll do.
I'll be gone in the first wave.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
I don't think I can survive.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Just when the blast goes, just take me.
Yeah.
I've seen threads. I don't want to live past that bit.
God, no.
Fred seems cheery compared to the real world we've got coming up.
Yeah, I mean, at least at the back of your mind, it was like fiction. You knew it was fiction. Whereas now, not brilliant.
Yeah. Where did you watch that?
Quite late, probably about 20 years ago.
I watched it at school.
Oh, Jesus. I know some people were made to watch it at school. One nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I was like, they should show that to kids today. That'd be amazing.
Oh, man, can you imagine? They didn't have the build-up that we did. Like, we were watching all sorts of weird shit, like Chucky and, the Boy from Space and stuff like that. Dark Water as well. Those information things. TV used to be brutal, man. When you were a kid.
Even kids' TV. Even kids' TV was brutal. The kids' films and everything were brutal.
That's right.
It's they have got the threat of nuclear war on them now, though, so they have got that part that we had.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, screw them. That's what I say.
I'm still partly terrified of Sheffield.
Everyone is.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that is to do with Fred's.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Anyway, do you know what else is as terrified as nuclear war?
What's that?
The video game industry, Stu.
It sure is. It's terrifying.
It really is.
I cower under the covers at night thinking about that shit.
Yes. So, I've been playing more than you.
Lucky you. That's because you.
That's because you. That Harry Enfield sketch.
It's because you hold the codes. You've got the codes, so you get.
I get the codes, and I've got the, and I'm like, I don't work.
And you've got no taste in games as well. You'll play anything.
Oh, I will. Yeah. Debbie do anything of video games.
It's true. You will play any genre, which is admirable.
Yeah, but I want them all. I'm just like, I am the poster child for FOMO.
They're like Pokemon to you, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, at least when we do enter the nuclear winter, at least I've got like thousands of games ready to go.
Got a huge backlog,
Yeah. Well, as long as some server stays up, like at Valve headquarters, but we'll assume it will.
Oh, it's bound to. That
Gaben just on a yacht in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with a server servicing everyone who's alive.
I would not be surprised. And Mackey's will probably still be open as well.
Yeah. Probably.
I don't know what Mappies is.
I just thought you had some kind of cool name for Maplin. I was going to say that shut down years ago. Get with the times.
Oh, we should start a Maplin cast.
No, let's not.
All right, no, okay. Anyway, video games.
Yeah, ask the questions, Joe.
What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a couple of decent games, actually. I'm going to start off with not the worst of the lot, but the one that isn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but it's still pretty decent. And that is Directive 8020, which is the latest in the new season. I think they're calling them seasons now, from Supermassive Games and their Dark Pictures anthology stuff.
Yep.
That started back with what was it, Rami Malek one, and the guy that's in The Rookie were in it.
Until Dawn.
Sean Ashmore. Until Dawn, yeah. And so they started off with that, and then it kind of built from there. So this is the big release, their season opener for their new season. And it's a game that's set in space. 12 light years from home, it says on the thing, and it follows the Supermassive thing where there's this story, and then you've got branches, paths, and things like that, and you play through it, and it goes, and it is interesting, the story. But what they've done this time is, rather than it being a glorified walking simulator, which is what I think a lot of the others were, some people will disagree. Like Until Dawn, some people do describe that as a survival horror. I find it more a pick your own adventure. There wasn't much survival horror in it. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't a survival horror. It was a walking simulator. But what they've decided to add to this is some more gamey elements. So there's some like platforming, some puzzling elements in there to try and turn it into more of a video game, but with their unique branching story paths. And it works in some respects, but other respects, it's like you should have kind of stuck to your formula. This is what you do. So the puzzle elements are clever enough that they stand out on their own. The platforming is so basic, it might as well just be push forward to go. It's almost not really needed. There's no like wayfinding or anything like that. It's fairly standard. And in some points for me, it became a little bit of a hindrance. As I said, the puzzles aren't clever enough that they feel worthwhile on their own. And they feel like they get in the way of the storytelling. And with a lot of their stuff, it's quite derivative. It always has been. It's video game storytelling. And I think Supermassive excel in video game storytelling. But what I think they've tried to do with this one is try to maybe push out to, could this be something you could see in a movie? And no. Again, I won't spoil it or anything like that, because people should play it and, be treated to all the twists and turns that are part of it. But it is very much a video game story that is trying to push itself further to be something it's not. And again, you go back to Until Dawn especially, it was a video game story. Hence the reason when you look at the film that was made of it, it was awful. The film of Until Dawn is one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. But the video game, because you're playing it, works, and the story works because you get the environmental stuff in there. And this tries to do a lot more exposition in places, and it really doesn't work as well as other things. That being said, it's still engaging, and it drew me in. I kind of finished it and was like, I'm glad I'm done, but I enjoyed the journey I went on with it. There's like real-time threats that are going on, and you feel that as you're going, and a lot of the twists and like, and again, I think you go back through their history of sort of like, can you trust this person? Is this person on the level, or do I have to consider this? That's all in there, and it all comes across really well. But I think it's one of their weaker overall stories that just takes it away from being one of their top games. It's that next level below, unfortunately. But it's still enjoyable as part of a long-running series.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's a funny thing with video game writing where it's its own particular thing, and I think to stretch your legs and start verging on the sort of sphere of script writing for films or film-like video games it's a big stretch, and I think it takes a lot of work and effort. And I think the big difference and the big thing that you have to consider is, like, I always kind of liken it to the difference between short stories and novels and anthology films and full narrative films, in that if you're doing the short version, it's all about plot. But if you're doing the long version, it has to be about character first and foremost. And I think that's a lot of the problem with video game writing, is that it doesn't centre the characters, and it centres the action and the plot. And you're not necessarily a bad writer if you just think that it's all about the plot. But if you can't latch on to making great characters that you really want to see survive and really want to see develop and go through their arc, then you're never going to reach that kind of narrative height of good filmmaking. So I don't know if that aligns with what you're talking about or not, but
it really, really does. So again, you mentioned anthology films and things like that, and I'll go one further and go, where you look at like YouTube shorts, like people have done like half-hour like fan movies and stuff on YouTube, and they work because they're short, they're to the point, and you can forgive little errors and things like that. Anthology films, you look at the horror anthology films, something like VHS or VHS 2 and all those kind of things, they work as very short little individual snippets that you can watch. But when you then get someone try and draw that out, it doesn't work. So an example I like to use is when you critically look at a film like Jeepers Creepers, it doesn't work due to the length. But if that was an anthology film where they stripped out a lot of the guff and just had the kids happen upon something and it chases them down, blah, 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 and that was 15 to 20, 25 minutes, that works. Stretched out to 90 minutes does not work. And I think that's the same with video game writing. You write moment to moment in video games. Hence the reason I think Pragmata works really, really well. The story, if you used to stretch that out as just a film, would be crap. It would be an awful film. But because you're doing it in moment to moment, so you've got your action going on and there's some little story beats happening, but then you have your in-between relaxed parts where you're back at your base and there's more story and exposition happening, that works because of the story beats, and it's really well-written video game story. Until Dawn was a really well-written video game story. This isn't a well-written video game story, and it's also not a well-written movie story. And both are fighting on each other. It needed to reel in some of the movie-based storytelling that it's got, reel that in and make it more video gamey. And I think that's just where it misses out.
All right, yeah, cool. No, that sounds fair. Yeah, there's a good way that these writers can do a shortcut to perhaps finding the right tone, I think, and that's to watch disaster movies, because they're lowbrow art. They don't tend to be beautifully written, but they very often like do that thing where they capture a character within 2 minutes of meeting them, and that might be because they're just full of tropes or they're caricatures or stereotypes or whatever, but they do it very efficiently. And then you're kind of like, you know where they're coming from, you know what their rough goals are, and you know that when they face these challenges, you're going to either care about them or not care about them, or they're the villain or whatever. And that's a really good way in, I think. Jurassic Park is an elevated version of that as well. Yeah. And I think that that's what they need to be looking at if they want to take that next step in their writing, really. But anyway,
it's not to like. It's just not a case. I think there's still this thing where a lot of video game writers and video game people want to be accepted at the same level as like films and things like that. Now, because some people are snobbish and look down on video games still, you don't need their acceptance. Don't chase their acceptance. They never will accept video games. Like, I think Uncharted, yes, everyone's got like the meme about how many people Nathan Drake murders, how can he be a good person? But in the context of that world he's in, I think the writing and the quips between the characters in the Uncharted games are outstanding. I think it's very clever the way it's written. I will go to Pragmata. Very clever the way it's written, and it works. Capcom again, Resident Evil. Naughty Dog again with The Last of Us. Until Dawn from Supermassive and a couple of their other Dark Pictures anthology things. I think The Quarry that worked pretty well as a story. The gameplay was pretty poor in that. I wasn't too keen on that, but the story I really was engaged with. So I don't know if it's the case if they wanted to maybe test the waters with this one. Can they go that up to there? Don't make films. You're not making films. You're making video games. Just remember that. There's nothing wrong with making video games.
Yeah, but I absolutely entirely agree. Yeah, it's its own niche and it demands its own style of writing. And yeah, the further you stray from that, the more problems you're going to encounter.
Before that you move on to your one, I'm going to cover my other one as well, because it's another example of story and how it does work where you go the other way. So I've been playing also Moomintroll, Winter's Warmth, which is, I don't want to say sequel because it's not a sequel, but it's from the same studio and everything as Snufkin, Melody and Moomin Valley. So it's kind of a follow-up from that. It's the Moomins. And this, again, is is a cozy adventure with the Moomins in it, and this is an example of how you take something that exists already and then change the medium for it. So what they do with this, it's all about discovery, friendship, and all those kinds of things. All the things, like if anyone's seen the Moomins, you'll kind of get like there's like a semi-hidden, veiled fable type thing behind each episode of the Moomins. And this is, you go around, you explore like this amazingly beautiful winter world that you're in, and you kind of have to find things, and there's like you meet different characters, you talk to them, and there's this ongoing like wholesome narrative that is going in behind. And there's some dialogue in there, but a lot of it's told through the environment and your interactions and all things like that, rather than this overreaching, here's a story which is going to hammer this story to you. And Snuff King did a very similar thing, where there was a lot of really well-written story beats in there. But you discovered it as you played. And it was a lot of it of just discovering the world around you and having that tell you a story. So this drops you in where you are Moomintroll, and he's just woken up from hibernation, and he's just completely alone, without any real knowledge of what's happened. The world's completely changed and everything like that. And then you set off into Moomin Valley, and it's what you recognise as Moomin Valley, but everything's changed. And yeah, you just got to go through and find out what's happened. Looking for people and looking for your friends, what's happened to everyone, what's happened to the world around you. And you meet new people and sort of new creatures, and there's some like survival stuff in there, but in a good way. It's just like, oh, you might need some wood for warmth, to go and find some wood, that kind of thing. It's not a survival game. And I've been playing this on and off for the past 3-4 weeks, and yeah, I loved Snuff King, and I love this as well. It is utterly beautiful. It captures all the magic of the Moomins, the animation style, the storytelling style, the quaintness of it all, everything, and it's got that message of community in it that the Moomins has always had, and in a time where, you know, we talk about it regularly, sort of like where the world seems to be going to crap. This whole idea of friendship and togetherness and everything that the Moomins told is honestly so heartwarming, and sort of like it's the sort of game we all need right now. It's just something that little bit special when we need it.
Yeah, that's lovely. I've really got my eye on this one. I want to dive into it and roll around in it and feel comforted by it, basically.
Yeah. And as with the first game, I'm not sure if this has got Sigur Rós doing its music or not. I don't think it has. The first one had Sigur Rós doing it, but the music and everything, the soundtrack, it's absolutely mesmerising. But I don't think it's them this time round. But it is still absolutely mesmerising stuff.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, definitely what I'm picking up, without a shadow of a doubt.
So, more Moomins in the world.
More white creatures, fewer orange creatures.
Oh, yeah. Put the Moomins in charge of everything.
Well, it couldn't be any worse, could it?
No. Before we go on to you, actually, have you seen, I don't know how to feel about the boys, because the whole, one of their actors is like a big Israel supporting knobhead, but have you seen those? I've worked out that they predicted Trump's statue in one of the earlier seasons.
Oh God, did
Homelander has a big gold statue like made of him, and like despite and yeah, they've like the creators gone, we didn't know that we predicted this was going to happen. It was meant to be so out there and bizarre and odd that it shouldn't have happened, but apparently it's happened now.
Oh God, I know. Yeah. It's just so cliched. I mean, it's in the Bible about, you know, the golden calf and everything, and it goes back that far that the minute they get rich and think that they're more important than everybody else, they just have a golden statue to themselves. It's so pathetic.
I know. I know. By the way, I finished polishing your golden statue.
Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
Excellent.
You better have got it nice and buffed, otherwise there'll be trouble.
Yes, I have. I've even given you another 6-pack.
Nice.
Anyway, what has my golden god been playing?
Oh, I'm glad I'm not your golden god. That's the way it should be. I've been playing something called Infinity Sweeper, which is a Minesweeper game, but it's also a roguelike deck builder.
It's one of those.
It's one of them. There aren't enough of them. We need more.
But with,
Yeah. We need to make sure we've got to find what hasn't already been used. I don't know, like a tree-growing roguelike deck building game or...
I think that needs to be its genre, though. The genre needs to be it's one of those likes.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are so many billions of them. So, yeah, it's Minesweeper, but with, like, roguelike deck building bits on top. Now, I've never played Minesweeper before, which is weird enough. Very strange.
What?
I know, right? I know. It's crazy.
What did you do in school?
Well, I didn't really have that much access to computers, but I did. When I worked in a bookshop, we had the PC and it had games on it. But all I ever played was Solitaire. I loved Solitaire, you see. Just so good. But yeah, I missed out on Minesweeper. But so I'd never played it before, so I started this, and it doesn't really explain how to play Minesweeper.
No, because you should know what
Minesweeper is fair,
because
everybody should know how you play Minesweeper. Okay, fair enough. Didn't take me long to work out what the hell's going on. Obviously, very simplistic game. But what this does, obviously, is it adds the roguelike elements. So, you're improving each time, you're getting different extra stuff, deck building, and that, you're getting items and you can pay for items based on the transactions that it has in the game. And there's not really much more to say about it than that, other than Minesweeper is quite good. I'm coming to it, 50 years into my life, but I'm quite impressed with it. It's not a bad game. I'm not sure how many times I could play. It's one of those games that's ideal for when you've got bugger all else to do and you just want to tap on a few things, And
you've run out of Sudoku puzzles.
Exactly, that sort of thing. It's a slightly observational style of game, but, it's not hard. It's, as long as you're careful, you're not going to bugger it up. The problem with this game is that it doesn't explain how to use any of its abilities. Like, there's zero onboarding, and the descriptions don't make any sense. Like, they really don't make any sense. And they keep referring to different colours and different items, and it doesn't explain how to use those in the game. Now, I'm sure there are videos out there, I haven't even bothered looking, but I'm sure there are, of how to play it, made by fans. But there's no onboarding in the game. And I've tried everything I can think of to activate these things, and it just doesn't seem to work. Now, and I've tried it, I've tried different combinations of things, and they seem to have activated, but then it doesn't seem to do what I expect it to do. So there's a huge disconnect between the UI and the user experience. And on that basis, I just can't recommend it, because you can still play it without those things and probably do quite well, unless it starts throwing in some cheating things in the later levels. I don't know. But, the boards get bigger and bigger. I haven't got very far, but far enough to have played it for, hours. And it just, as a video game, it just fails over the original Minesweeper because it doesn't integrate the new stuff properly. It's baffling to me. It's like, how can you get that so wrong? So I don't know. Maybe we're getting a version 1.1 or 1.2 release, or hopefully even a 2.0 release, where it's just they actually explain the game and integrate the gameplay better. But at the moment, for me, it's like a big negative, I'm afraid.
That is a shame, because there is another Minesweeper-esque game out there. I can't remember what it's called, but it was kind of like, it was roguelike, but it was more battle-based. Kind of thing, rather than just pure logic puzzle type stuff and sort of like Balatro-y. So it was different, and that worked, and that done a lot of explaining how Minesweeper works as well as you go, and that explained how your abilities affect things, etc., etc. So it's a shame because It's a weird one because Minesweeper works on its own as a logic puzzle. In the same way, it probably doesn't predate, but it does for a lot of us, like in the West. It predates our experience with Sudoku, with Sliverlink, with Picross and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was the original how you work things out and do it logically. So I don't see how you can add the element of randomness and stuff that you then get from a Balatro and do it. It's, it's a weird one. I've not played it yet because I don't really have time to play this one. And it was on my wish list, but it sounds like it's just missing all the beats it needs to hit, really.
Well, it certainly did for me, yeah. And I mean, I recognise I'm not the target audience, but I mean, I do still play quite a few of these things. So I know the qualitative and quantitative difference between all the new, several of the new releases. And it's just not there for me.
Yeah, you can't release something like that without proper onboarding either. You can't just assume that your audience knows A, Balatro likes, and B, Minesweeper. And knows them both enough just to go, oh, yeah, okay. That's bizarre. Fair enough. Before I get on to my third main game, just want to cover a bit of DLC I've been playing very quickly.
Okay.
Was it earlier this year or was it late last year? I can't remember. But I played a game called Trash Goblin, which was a game where you played this goblin that gets trash and you have to clean up and repair the trash and then for people and then sell it on, make a profit. So it was kind of like a resource management, restoration type game. Well, it's got some DLC. And I don't know what to say about the DLC apart from it's Trash Goblin, but more Trash Goblin. It's like basically more the same. You've just got more like stories that are being told, more items that you need to clean and clear and fix and sell, and it's got the same mechanics are in there. It doesn't offer anything new, just more content. And it's come out at just over £7. Had another 5 hours to the game, and I love the main game. And I'm happy with this. And like £7 for another 5 hours worth of playing a game I enjoyed, all for it. But what I will say, it took me a while to find I want to get back into this because I played through it all midway to end of last year, and we're now coming to halfway through this year. I parked it and I was done with Trash Goblin, and it's now sort of like trying to get back into it. And it kind of raises the question of, if a game's going to have DLC, is it at any point worth picking it up straight away? I'll just wait till all the DLC's out so you can enjoy the whole thing. And it's a question I've always wondered with DLC, unless it's something like Phantom Liberty on Cyberpunk, or the story expansions in The Witcher 3, or the Fallout games or something like that, where it's so big they are a brand new game in and of themselves. I struggle with just this, here's some more content a year later kind of concept.
Yeah, I think a good way to look at it with this kind of game is probably like keep an eye on when you hit your sales peak and when things start falling off, and then give it 3 months and really, if you've got it ready, if you've got the DLC ready, give it 3 months or so, or some other value that you think of that feels like the right duration, and then throw it out at that point. And then, people are just tailing off completing it, it allows for a few stragglers, but they haven't forgotten it hasn't fallen out of their consciousness, and, they'd be interested in it. Whereas, if you did that with Cyberpunk, it'd be too soon and you wouldn't want to go back into it. So, the timing is everything really on these things, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not like I don't want to it's not bad mouthing them at all. It's just like I just noticed that I picked this up and went, okay, I did like this, and I had to reinvigorate myself to play it. I wasn't chomping at the bit, but I've played it and I've enjoyed it. And if you enjoy Trash Goblin, or you've not picked up Trash Goblin and it's something that's on your radar because you like these restoration and type games, get the DLC. You won't be disappointed. If you've been sitting on it or you've played it ages ago, I might say wait for maybe a sale or see if there's any more DLC or something like that. But it's a really good expansion to the game if you enjoy it. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. So it's quite a fun one.
Cool. Yeah, is this the artist of Brimhaven? Is it that one?
Do you know what? It would make sense if I looked at what it was called. And I believe it was, yes, the artist of Brimhaven.
Cool.
I just got it sent through as DLC and I just installed it. I didn't even check what it was called.
Yeah, no bother.
I'm useless. Like I was hoping to God I got the name of the Cyberpunk DLC right.
You sure did.
This is why I didn't name any of the Witcher ones, because I went, I can't remember. I want to say Son of Fire and Ice, but I think that's something else.
Blood and Wine was one of them, wasn't it?
Possibly. I get that confused with like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings and everything. So
yeah, no fair play.
And War Treks or whatever it is with the stars.
War Trek. Oh, yeah. War Treks. Yes, that's my
piss off two entire communities.
Yeah, that's my favourite community. That War Treks. I love it. Yeah.
Talking of being out in the stars.
Yeah.
It's a segue. I've been playing a video game called Outworld Station. Which is it's an automation-based base building game set in space. And yeah, it's look again. This is another genre, base building, where they're 10 a penny, and I think it's very difficult now to stand out with these, no matter what you do. So even if you've played a new one, I think you've played something similar before. And Outworld Station is no different. So you're on a space station, and stuff's gone wrong, and you've got to rebuild, and artificial intelligence and everything's all there. And could there be something there? Is there not something there? You know, it's got some basics. I don't care about the story. In all fairness. But with this, what you're doing is you're building up these bases in space, and you've got to automate what they do. So you put down something that fabricates something that can then be used in something else to build that, to build something else, to build that, and essentially make your station be this all-powerful, wonderful thing. And all automation games follow that pattern, and this does this. But what you've got here, and this is something I really like, and I've seen this done in other games that are similar, but not particularly this one. So you got this like bot that you move around, almost like it's a tower defense type thing where you're collecting stuff, and you need to use it to go and collect asteroids and the materials from asteroids to dump at your station, so they can then start being used throughout your station to start building things. And that's the core concept. And what the game's got with it is it's story-based. So you have a very basic one of, you just need to repair this Stargate type thing. This legally distinct Stargate type thing.
Of course.
Yeah. And so you go, do this. And the basic story acts as a big tutorial, and there is like a sandbox mode and stuff like that later. Now, with this one, what you got, because it's in space, is it's not just on a 2D plane. It starts off and it is, but then you can build up and down because it's all adding different blocks to a central area and building out from it and then creating chains. And the chains can go outwards and they can go up, they can go down and all things like that. And you've got power sources which uses solar power. So you've got you'll lay down like a solar panel. And you've got to then put it in and manually face it towards the sun. And once it's got the sun, it'll give you a level of power. But things can move in later levels. So you then have to, every now and again, go and readjust where your solar panels are pointed. All stuff that makes sense. And when I first started, I went, this is going to be horrible, busy work. And I'm not sure I want that. But it's not. It works. It's just little adjustments here and there that you can maybe eke a little bit more power out when you need it. That kind of thing. And it's just entered its 1.0. It's been in early access for a while, and the 1.0's come out. And of all of these that I've played recently or over the past couple of years, I'm really enjoying this one. It's a bit cumbersome in places, but the overall structure of you can almost place anything anywhere as long as it's attached to something. But then you can point, you've got like a link tool. So you can go, right, this I want taken over there. Now, this might not be attached in any way. So I want this to drop this into here. And then you go, right, these things need to come out from here and go here, here, here. And you use your links to do it. So rather than having to create 15 different chains, you can go, right, this one chain can create these, and then this can go out into these different places. And I like that because a lot of the automation games go, right, you've learned how to make rock, and this is the process for making rock. And now you've got to create bricks from the rock. But then you've got to create something else from the rock. And you need to create a rock chain a second time to then create that additional material. This, you can just go, right, let's pile all the rock and get it made here and then send that out. So it's almost like a proper, or for me, a real-world logistics chain that's going on there, but set on a space station. And there's exploration to it, and the more you play, the further there is, the more things you unlock, the further there is to go, and the more secrets there are. And it's just a really, really engaging base builder that doesn't do loads new, and it doesn't stand out from the crowd. But if you're just looking for a new base builder, because you played out all your other ones, definitely one worth picking up.
Cool. Yeah, I was going to ask if you... in the game, if you could smell what the rock is cooking, but of course in space no one can smell what the rock is cooking, so
no. Just no.
I completely agree with you.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, maybe. Where did the rock thing come on? Oh, I was talking about rocks, weren't I?
Yeah.
That's what threw me. I'm like, rocks and space. I don't get it. No, I realised I mentioned like a rock chain.
Indeed.
It's it's like a blockchain, but with rocks.
Right.
Now that's how you do jokes, Stu. That's how you do it. Leave it to the semi-professional.
If that's how you're supposed to do it, I don't want to be right.
No, don't be right. But yeah, that's it. I've got some interesting stuff coming up, but that's it for this week, and I'm nearly caught up with my backlog.
Excellent.
Which is good because I've got Subnautica. I picked up Subnautica too.
Oh, did you get a code or did you have to buy it?
No.
You've paid money for it. Wow.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to, but they moved away from Crafton, haven't they? Because there was the whole issues between Unknown Wells and Crafton. And Crafton refusing to pay them or something to do with IP, so they managed to break away and make their own. And all I can say is, like, I started it last night. I'm like 3.5 hours in, and yeah, it's more Subnautica, and it's bloody brilliant and beautiful, and wonderful, and I can't wait to talk about it more when I've played more.
Is that next week, you reckon? You'll be reviewing that?
I'll probably be one of those that I'll probably mention a few times across the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Very good.
But yeah, if you did like I will say, if you like the first or Below Zero, then yeah, this is definitely should be on your radar.
Cool. Good that they haven't dropped the ball. That's good stuff.
No. Considering I played the first one on Switch, oh my god, this is beautiful.
It is a lovely looking game. I've seen some people playing through it on YouTube, and it looks good.
I forgot how forgiving I was on a lot of Switch ports on things.
Yeah, you kind of get Switch blindness, don't you, when you got a Switch?
Because I tried popping on The Witcher 3 the other day because I've got a PC save, and I put it on. I just went, oh my god, I forgot how good this game looks. I played this all the way through on Switch as well, and that, yeah. And again, I'm all for. I'm glad stuff like that was made for the Switch and it was ported, but. My word, and it wasn't a better game because it's got more looks or anything, but it's just like the difference, like what they have to take away to fit things on a Switch was, yeah.
Oh, it stacks up, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it for me this week.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I've got nothing else. I haven't got anything particularly on the horizon at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. But it might just be my ignorance of the release lists. But
I thought he was going to make some kind of pun about Forza Horizon.
Oh, yeah.
And we might talk about this next week, maybe, because I'm kind of like on that. I really want it, but I can't.
So I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of money. What are the reviews like?
It's not that. It's Microsoft.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't.
Just steal it like half.
It's be really, really good.
just steal it like half the world has, because it's already been leaked.
Yeah, no, but apparently it's back. You've got to do a lot of faffing around with like Microsoft accounts and creating new ones so you don't get banned. So I'm going to wait for it to be... I probably will, but I'm going to wait for it to be properly cracked.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Get it from Fit Girls when you need it.
Yeah. Like, again, that's a name of someone who does these things, not like she's not advocating going into town and walking up to a bunch of women going, "Hey, you got any thoughts?"
All right, gorgeous. Got any thoughts?
Yeah,
that'll be hilarious.
Got any repacks?
Oh man, excellent. Right, okay.
End of stroke. You ain't
That's it. Yeah, we're out. So, as usual, follow us on all the socials. Make sure you're checking out our content on the website. Join us on Discord to chat if you wish. And until next week, stay safe and stay sane.